Hello, this is James Martlow. Today is the 19th of February 2012. Time is 22:02, and I'm back in Oxford. Hooray! I had an annoying bus driver earlier who I got very angry about. Almost had a Tiananmen Square situation on my hands, but I managed to exercise some self-control, so I'm trying to put that behind me now. So I've been wondering today, why don't CDs have blurbs? Because oftentimes I'll be looking in a HMV most generally for a couple of CDs, let's say two for £10, perhaps for my dad's birthday or Christmas present. And I'll be like, oh, that's an interesting looking cover. That person has a face, has a name, and they've named their album either after their name or some kind of metaphor, usually. But it doesn't tell me what it sounds like, does it? You go to back of a film, you look at the film, look at the front cover. Oh, this film's got a title, it's got some people in it, it's got a picture of some people in it. I wonder what it's about. You can look on the back and you can find out. Now, is it more acceptable for DVDs to have um, blurbs on the back because there's a story and it's like a book and books have blurbs on the back? Is that it? I don't know. Um, I had this conversation with my dad earlier, and he said perhaps when you go and buy music, you already know what you're looking for more oftentimes. So um, you don't really need it. Also, in the past, you could listen to the album before you bought it in the shop. You could get them to play it on the loudspeakers in the past, or more recently in the past, you had headphones. They don't really do that in HMV anymore. But that is an advantage of buying online. You can often do that, and online has changed everything, of course. But I'm not really interested in that. But I've been dwelling on this. I'm thinking perhaps it's an aesthetic thing. Maybe because it's not like a book. It's not a different shape. It's a different purpose. That it's not aesthetically pleasing to have a blurb on the back. I don't know, but I'd really like to know what something sounded like. My dad said that in the past, on just broke this elastic band. In the past, on album covers, and album as in vinyl, on those kind of covers, there was often a blurb. But he said the blurb on these covers was overly intellectualized and would include words and phrases like eclectic, which the average music purchaser wouldn't appreciate. You're not going to buy something which insults your intelligence, are you? I wouldn't, but then I never know what it's like to have my intelligence insulted. Ha 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 ha. Well, I just really like to know what something sounds like. Yeah. Um, when I was discussing this with my dad earlier, I brought up the fact that often you don't know what you're buying when it comes to music because of because you're looking for bargains and you don't know what it is because you're just taking a punt on something which is like £3 in HMV or something like that. And he raised the point that because as an artist you never expect or never wish to anticipate the day where your work of art will be bargain bin fodder, you don't approach it like that. You don't have that goal in mind. There's a certain arrogance which comes with being a musician, where you expect people to know your name, you expect them to buy your works of art immediately, therefore for the highest price, because they want it so badly that they can't go on without it. Some artists, that's true, like S Club 7 or Steps. But with artists, musical artists that is, there's your mega stars like the aforementioned power groups, and then there's like your nobodies who are popular for I don't know what reason, like Neil Young and Bob Dylan. They still sell millions despite being rubbish, and you've got those ends of the spectrum, and they're both quite successful at those ends. But what we have is this grey area, and the thing is, most people come somewhere between Dylan and Steps, and that means we need blurbs. I want blurbs now. Blurbs on my music, please. I want blurbs, or we will have a Tiananmen Square situation on my hands. Your hands. Tiananmen? Is it Tiananmen? Tiananmen. I'll do that dramatic ending again. I want blurbs. Blurbs on my music. Or this time, you will have a Tiananmen Square situation on your hands. That was better, wasn't it? Yeah. Cool. Good night.